Welcome to SWSi Floristry. In this demonstration video, we're going to do a radial posy bowl using wildflowers. You'll notice that the oasis is slightly above the lip of the container. This will allow for radial placements to be put in on the edges to create our domed effect. What I'm going to do is start by placing some of the eucalyptus in the centre of the floral foam, and I've already pre-cut the eucalyptus to be all the same length. This way it's going to ensure that I end up with a semi-spherical shape. I've placed one main placement in the centre of the oasis, and then I'm supporting it by angling my eucalyptus at roughly 45 degrees and placing it around the central placement. So I have one centre placement with three supporting placements around it. Then what I'm going to do is continue down and then place another three placements in between those secondary placements of the eucalyptus, working our way down towards the bottom of the container. This is going to start to give me the skeleton of a semi-sphere shape. That's what we want to create when we're doing our posy bowl arrangement. If some of the pieces of eucalyptus have a long enough side shoot on them, we can cut them into two pieces and insert them as two separate items. I'm not trying to cover all the floral foam at the moment. What I'm doing is creating a base that then will give me an outline that I can follow with the flowers. We don't want to overfill the floral foam with greenery. What I'm going to place into the arrangement are the banksias first. So I'm not going to place one in the centre of the arrangement this time. I'm going to place three of the banksias on the same level around the oasis to give a form, because they're quite large stems. And because I have three of these specimen stems, then I'm evenly going to place them into the floral foam around the container. Then what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to place the leucadendrons, one leucadendron as our lime flower, into the centre of the three placements. The reason that I put the banksia in first is because they're a much heavier stem, and if I put the leucadendron in first, the placement of the banksia stems are going to move that first primary placement. So always place the heavier stems in to an arrangement of wildflowers first, and then these thinner stemmed leucadendrons can easily fit in between the heavier banksia stems. What I'm doing again is putting a leucadendron stem in between the placements of the banksias, including one at the very top of the arrangement. Then I'm going to cut some of my leucadendrons slightly shorter and angle them again at that 45-degree angle when I'm placing them into the floral foam, and placing them down at the base of the arrangement. So in this particular radial arrangement, what we want to do is replicate the rays of the sun. So we're placing everything on a radial placement on a 45-degree angle, so that it's going to give us a nice rounded shape when we finish the arrangement. What I'm going to do at the top of the arrangement as well is now place some of the transitional material, which this is Strelinger. So with that, I can also cut this into different length pieces from the one stem, so it doesn't become too heavy and overflow the top of the arrangement. Transitional material is there to bring the primary placements, so the banksia, and the secondary placements, the leucadendrons, together, and to blend them into one even spherical shape. So we need to place transitional material quite carefully and not make it too heavy so it distorts the overall shape that we're trying to create. And then I'm going to place some of the Strelinger down onto the base part of the arrangement as well. This is where it's been very important to start off with the floral foam above the edge of the container, because these side placements wouldn't be possible if our foam was even with the edge of the container. This way we've got enough floral foam above the container to insert these on a 45-degree angle and achieve that rounded shape that we want to do with our radial posy bowl. So I'm continually moving my arrangement around, placing pieces of material in between each other to give a rounded look to the arrangement. The next flower that I'm going to place in is the quercifolium. What I've done is remove some of the leaves around the flower so that the actual flower head is exposed, because it has a very beautiful flower in it. What I'm doing is placing this alongside the leucadendron to create a focal point at the top of the arrangement, and then I'm going to place them in between the leucadendrons that are at the sides of the arrangement, again to ensure that there's even distribution of the flower material, and also to bring the lime green colour down to the edge of the arrangement to help with the colour distribution. In this radial posy bowl, we want the colours and the materials to be evenly distributed throughout the whole design. So I'm placing the last of the quercifolium into the arrangement now, so they're evenly spread throughout. And what I'm going to do is introduce a couple of more foliages to bring some extra texture and colour within the design. This particular After Dark is a lovely foliage that has a very nice soft feel to it. So it's very good to place around the edge or the perimeter of the posy bowl so that it starts to blend over the container and make the container and the arrangement seem one design. We want to incorporate the container within our design, and these side placements will help blend and blur the line of where the container starts and where the flowers end, so the whole thing becomes one unit together. I'm also going to place some of this into the top of the arrangement as well, because we want to take the colour right from the very base of the arrangement up to the top of the arrangement. For this one, we just need to insert the stems down into the floral foam to make sure that they're going in the bottom of the oasis, and also turn your arrangement around as you make this to ensure that you're getting an even dome shape within your finished design. I have some small pieces of pre-cut acacia that I'm now going to just put through the base of the design as well. Because we're paying extra attention to the base of this arrangement, because we have very strong focal forms up in the top of the arrangement with our Banksia, so we need to make sure that we balance everything out by adding a nice solid ring of greenery around the base, and that way the pot and arrangement will be in proportion with each other. Just go around to make sure that all your floral foam is covered now as we put the last placements in the arrangement. This will ensure that the oasis does not dry out and the flowers will last for the length of time that their post-harvest will allow. With these wildflowers, we could expect this arrangement to last somewhere between 10 and 14 days from the receipt of the flowers. And then I'm just putting a little bit more of the transitional Strelinger just to bring the gold colour down to the base of the arrangement. This would be suitable for both a male or female recipient, And this is our radial posy bowl using Wildflowers.